Hi everyone, this is Gia from Plant Corner. And sorry, this week is so busy, so I just wanted to film a really quick video and tell you 3 things I would do to give my plants a better chance of survival. 1. You want to make sure your plants get plenty of light. Without light, the plant cannot produce food, so you want to make sure that the plant is getting at least the minimum amount of light that they can sustain themselves for survival. What that means is you want to place your plants somewhat close to the window if you have a north-facing window, and it should be right in front of the window. Don't put your plants in the gap between 2 windows. I usually call it the wall of death. The plants will actually get no light between those 2 windows. If you have east or south facing window or west facing window, you could place your plants anywhere in between 3 to 10 feet away from the window, but I would not go more than that. And also that depends on the type of plants that you have, because some plants do like a lot of light, and for them the minimal light of survival might be somewhat closer to the window or partial direct sunlight. Plants like bird of paradise or fiddle leaf fig definitely need more light. You'll notice if the plants is not getting enough light, they could be dropping some leaves, they could be stretching and trying to find more light. In the case of Monstera, the new leaves will come out smaller and smaller, and so instead of getting like a big leaf with beautiful fenestration, you will get smaller and like kind of leggy growing leaves. So that's a sign to tell you that the plant is not getting enough light. Secondly, you want to make sure that the roots of your plants get plenty of oxygen, because the roots of your plants also need to breathe, and without oxygen it creates like this environment that's perfect for fungi and bacteria to grow, and that will also attack your plants later on. So you want to make sure that your plants is in the pot with a lot of drainage holes. I usually like clear nursery pots the most, because you can see what's going on in there. You can see when the plant needs to be watered. You want to also make sure that your substrate or your soil is well drained, especially for indoor plants. In nature, for like plants in the forest, there's always like earthworms or other types of insects that actually lives in the soil, and that creates like space for the air to flow through in nature. However, indoor we don't have those insects, so what you want to do is making sure that you add a lot of inorganic substrate like perlite or pumice and fluff the soil up to make sure that there's always room for air to go into your soil. Another thing you want to do is to aerate the soil, especially when the top of your soil is get hard and firm and like the water cannot seep through or the air cannot go into. So you would grab like a little stick and then like twist it in the soil in different spots of the soil. You want to do that before you water every time, so that when you water, the water can actually like spray throughout your pot, and also the oxygen can also access your soil as well. So aerating is very, very important if you have indoor plants. And lastly, if you have a lot of plants, especially plants in bigger pot, you want to definitely get a moisture meter. A moisture meter is a tool that measures the moisture level in your soil. For new plant parent, I highly recommend getting a moisture meter, because especially if you have plants in a big pot, there's no way that your finger can touch the bottom of the pot. And for some plants, it's really important to make sure that the whole pot or the whole soil gets to dry out just a little bit, especially snake plant, ZZ plant, bird of paradise. So you want to stick those moisture meter around the pot and only water the plants where the soil is dry. That way you can make sure that the whole area is moistened, but also not too much where you keep like adding more moisture in a place that's already moist. So those are my 3 highly recommended tips for new plant parents. If you want to keep your plants alive, and not just for a certain period of time, but you want the plants to grow old with you, make sure that your plants have great amount of sunlight, make sure that the oxygen gets to touch the roots, and make sure to check the amount of water within the soil first before you add more water in. And if I were to add one more thing, I would also wipe the leaves ever so often. Usually I recommend like every few weeks if the plant is not pest prone. So if you have philodendrons, fiddle leaf fig, you could wipe them every couple weeks with either like alcohol water solution. So you would mix 1 part alcohol, 5 parts water, and use it to spray the leaves and wipe them off. That way it can eliminate pests, dust, and whatever could be harmful for the plants. If you have plants that are pest prone like calathea and thurium, alocasia, you want to do that every week if possible. While doing so, you will observe the plants and also get rid of any harmful pathogens, or if you can notice early sign of pests and then get rid of them before they take over your plants. So those would be the things that I recommend new plant parents do. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions as a new plant parent, you can leave them down below and I will help you as much as I can. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!